Hello everyone, Irish Warlock here, and welcome to part 1 of our Alone in the Dark Let's Play. I hope you're all having a good day and that you enjoyed this video. I've been looking forward to this game since it first got announced. I played the prequel demo back in last year. It was actually the first video I ever put out on the channel, so it's kind of nice coming a bit full circle. So, I know very little about the game. I know obviously it's a horror game, it's got some eldritch kind of horror stuff in it, there's some puzzles, there's some combat. I played the 2008 one for like a little bit. I never finished it for some reason, but I did play it. I was very young, so I thought it was good, and then like with hindsight and talking to other people, realised it's not that great, so maybe it's a good thing I don't really remember playing it that well. Supposed to get the cat out of the bag, I have obviously seen some reviews. I don't really read reviews, I just maybe a few people online like Jake Baldino, he was the first one I saw mention that this game isn't that great, unfortunately. It's not bad, it's not great, it's kind of so. Apparently like it's a step in the right direction for the franchise after the 2008 game, and I think it was a game after that. Actually, I don't remember, it might have been a mobile game or maybe it was a failed online game, I don't remember. But yes, apparently this game is not that amazing. I only spent €50 on it, so maybe at the end we'll decide how much, like, if that was worth it or not. But maybe I'll find it charming. Maybe I'll find something to like. Every game has its fans. Maybe I'll be one of them. But I'm still going to give it a shot. I have been looking forward to it, and I'll try and go in with it as much of an open mind as I possibly can. No, let's play it on hard. I'm gonna go with modern, just because I feel like with old school I could struggle a lot, and that would make for very boring content. Oh! Or a frog.
So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that. He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
Possession?
Hey!
No, Detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Hartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
And that's a lovely family tradition to have.
But Jeremy didn't kill himself. Is that why he's at Derceto?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned the letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real?
That's the letter from the demo.
Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Hartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we
Harsh.
are.
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone.
So they don't know each other that well. Like, she's only just hired
Did you
him
bring a
for
gun?
this job.
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
Jesus.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
Okay. David Carnby by... Oh, Edward Carnby by David Haber. Or Emily Hartwood, played by Jodie Comer. So from what I understand, it's kind of like Resi 2, where some parts of the game are very similar, or basically the same, but there are some parts that are different, and there's different collectibles to find in each one. I think I'm going to go with Edward, though. He's the classic character for the series. Maybe I'll do like an Emily playthrough myself someday and kind of find out what the difference is.
Hello?
Looks abandoned.
It can't be. There has to be someone around.
Wait here. I'll go around back.
That's it. Just go into this spooky sanatorium by yourself. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, we're in. Hey, controls feel pretty decent. Anything in here worth grabbing? No, I don't think so. Okay, take that back about the controls being decent. They're a bit... not
Now, what do we
chunky.
got here?
Let's just say... yeah, I don't describe it, but... oh, a flashlight. I thought it was a lighter by the looks of it. And a kitchen garden key. I was going to say, they're not... the controls aren't as fluid as I maybe would like, but it's not a big deal. I wonder if I'm just looking for things to criticize after hearing other people's criticisms. What is that? Oh, okay. Let's just start with the creepy... oh, I thought that was a person over there. It's just a statue.
Nah, I'm not getting in there.
I get some sort of rope with a hook, maybe, or something I can reach down and grab it. Hello. Damn birds.
Whoa. This one big tree defines the conservatory.
Ah, that's not horrifying at all. Okay, the housekeeper's key. Let's try down here. Okay, well, I guess this is the way we're meant to go. So let's check up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, just a random box of bullets in a conservatory. Nothing too weird. No, I thought that was maybe a note to pick up. Okay, we are inside. Welcome to Derceto.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh yeah, alcohol is how you heal yourself, which is very, very appropriate to the time period. Family Bible.
Every day your silence weighs a little heavier. It's been a difficult year for everyone, and many have lost all hope. I read in the papers about people suffering. Pictures of dust-covered landscapes without a drop of water. I wish I knew if you were still tending the earth, or if you had turned your back against us. I have started to look for help elsewhere. I pray you will tell me if I am going down a path that you find disagreeable. With help from Baptiste and Charlotte, I found comfort in the practice of the voodoo.
Now that
I
doesn't
have
sound
long
good.
been skeptical of that Caribbean cult, but it's been of good use
Sounds a little
to me.
racist.
It seems all harmless in my book. I say some words dreamt up by the Creoles, and I carry around a small pocket of gree-gree. Nothing of this is mentioned in the Bible, of course, but the French Quarter priestess tells me it's all connected. She says the Christian God is just one more perspective on the creator of things. That's what I like to think, but the other way around, that the spirits of her faith are just aspects of you, our Heavenly Father. I am so grateful for the words you gave Mr. Hartwood. We will sing your praises at St. John's Eve. The world will be blessed soon again. Only the sacrifices of the Old Testament compare to your demands. Let it be the truth. A mother of earth, wood, and dirt. A mother of 1,000 young.
Sacred sand, $1. Black cat oil, $1.50. Devil shoestrings, a quarter. That makes $2.75, madame.
What was that you were telling the doctor? A goat without horns. What does that mean?
Ah, you must have misheard me, madame. I said no such thing.
Please, I know I don't look like any of you, but I'm devout. I'm ready to do what it takes.
Do not be so eager to sacrifice the few things you have left, madame. Now please, leave my store.
A goat without horns.
Okay, a bit weird. There was actually quite a lot there that wasn't written down, but okay. So Jeremy's up to something, probably leading a cult by the sounds of it. I wonder if like the stuff about the voodoo is a red herring, like it's setting up like, oh, voodoo is what's wrong, what's like bad and evil, but then it's gonna be revealed like, no, voodoo's not that, it's something else. More drink. Oh. Yeah, that's it. You just leave the meat hanging up like that. Rat poison. Oh, it's one of the sets for the Great Depression. Jesus. So we got vagabonds, a goat without horns, the Great Depression, all the world stage, Hollywood kind of thing, 1,000 young, beast of burden, death of the author. That sounds familiar. Dying with dignity, lost children, prisoner of ice, Crescent City, the Hartwood curse, unspeakable cults, pirates of. Nope, pirates. When it makes you worse, and that's it. So yeah, I can find some of these as Edward, like I can finish out some, but some then can be finished out by Emily, and some you need to actually play as
What
both.
was that?
Okay, so they're optional, but yeah, so you gotta basically play it multiple. You gotta play the game multiple times to find everything. 8 is fine. I like when games do that. Gives you a bit of option for replayability. So if I like a game enough, I never really need a reason to replay it. Like a linear game that's kind of done and dusted after one playthrough, I'll gladly go back and replay it again if I had enough fun with it. But sometimes it's nice to have like the extra, not option, but the extra incentive. Do I have a map of the area? I do. I don't. I need to get a map of the area. Oh, this is another collectible. A streetcar ticket.
I need the key.
No, okay, so through here.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all. While the sabotage has caused a leak, only the decorative plate has been completely ruined. Let's wait for Mr. Chance to turn up and he can take a look at the leak. Mr. Waits.
Oh.
That doesn't look safe.
Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. Was there a way I missed, or should I have picked up the parts to do the boiler? Oh. Maybe I should have just paid attention to my surroundings. Where is everyone? This is really weird. Oh, do I have a reflection? Sort of. Okay, I assume Emily's behind one of those doors. Lottie's diary.
Sunday, June 22nd. I spent all day looking for Jeremy. I should have cared for the others, but I'm scared that he will do something irreversible. Cassandra is upset that I didn't give her the latest shipment of pain medication that Waits brought from the post office yesterday. I would have given it to her, but the company didn't send a new key this time around, so the box is just sitting there on my desk. They must have figured we had plenty of their gimmicky keys by now. I only remember seeing one lately. Grace was playing with it inside the grand parlor. Unless it turns up by itself, it will have to wait. I have to figure out where Jeremy is. I think Jack knew something. That dog of his found a strange rot permeating the house. She's showing us, he said. Like those blots and streaks of fetid rot was talking to him.
Somebody says the rot is talking to him. You get the hell out. Getting very Resi 7 vibes from this. Oh yeah, I need to find the key for that. Ah, the map. Wow, there's a lot. So I'm in the orderly's room at the moment. And a plaza key.
I need the key.
Okay, it's not the plaza key. I'm back up here, so this is not where Emily was. Oh! This is where the demo was, because we pushed down that bear when we were playing as Grace and used it to run across to get away from the creepy monsters. Stamp. Ding.
I need the key.
Yeah, because we climbed through there as Emily. That's where, we climbed through there as Grace, and that's where she gets got by the monster. God, this place is big. So I'm on the wrong floor anyway, that's for sure. I gotta go down a floor.
The Great Depression. President Hoover raises tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods in an act to protect American labor. Following the collapse of the Wall Street stock market on October 24 last year, American industry has suffered greatly. Thousands of companies have gone bankrupt and left a large part of the American workforce unemployed. In an attempt to turn the tide, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act has been signed by President Herbert Hoover. By regulating commerce with foreign countries, the government hopes to encourage the industries of the United States to compete with cheap foreign imports. Superstition on rise. New Orleans voodoo stores and spiritual mediums see increased profit during troubled times. While the market has faced hard times ever since Black Thursday of last year, voodoo doctors and snake charmers see significant rise in number of customers. With the coming Eve of St. John on the 23rd, the police expect increased cult activity around Bayou St. John, the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Voodoo rituals in that area on the Eve of St. John have a long tradition reaching back to the first snake worshippers brought as slaves from West Africa. During the 19th century, its practice was popularized by the legendary Marie Laveau and has since been embraced by many of the Creoles and the surviving aristocracy of the French Quarter. Author seeks asylum. Rumors regarding author Cassandra Beauregard making Derceto her home verified. Derceto Hospital is an old plantation building on the eastern shores of Lake Pontchartrain. While often considered an asylum for the insane, residing Dr. Elmore Lee Gray prefers to think of it as a convalescent home, a place where you can go to rest. The patient list is kept secret, but thought to include many of the black sheep of wealthy families, because at Derceto, treatment does not come for free. Local author Cassandra Beauregard has now been confirmed by her own admission. She's been lauded as a powerful Creole voice and written many successful books. Lately it was reported from Hollywood that she has finished a moving picture manuscript titled Slaughter Gulch. That film is set to hit the theaters next year.
Yeah, that's a great name for a movie. Right, so we got a couple of famous people here. Oh.
Thanks.
Okay, there's the door.
What are you doing? Who are you?
Whoa, pardon me, excuse me. My name is Edward Carnby, private investigator. I hope you don't mind we let ourselves inside.
I do mind. This is private property. You can't just barge in here.
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. It's urgent, and no one was answering the door.
We can't hear you knocking anymore.
Oh, it's little Grace.
None of us can.
Who is your uncle, darling?
Jeremy. Am I right? She has that Hartwood gloom, doesn't she?
That's right. I'm Emily Hartwood. I just came to make sure my uncle is all right.
Well, he is unavailable right now. You will have to come back another day.
Unavailable how? Is he sleeping? We can wait.
He's lost.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Who's your man again, Miss Hartwood?
My name's Edward Carnby, private investigator.
Splendid.
Enough! All of you! Get back to your rooms! McCarthy, keep your eyes on the child. And you two, please leave immediately.
Look, we're not here to cause any trouble. Just let us see the old man, satisfy the curiosity of my client here, and we'll be off.
Jeremy has gone missing. There's no need to worry, but it might be some time before he turns
There's
up.
no need to worry, but your
The
family
whole
member who were meant to
staff
look
is
after has
looking for him.
disappeared.
What? He ran off?
I don't have time for any of this. Please, come back tomorrow.
All right, in that case, we'll just wait in his room. You don't mind, do you? It's upstairs, right?
Wait, you can't.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
In the corridor. It's the first door on your left. I'll tell Dr. Gray you're here.
Excellent. Thank you, madam.
Oh, creepy ass statues. I remember these.
All right, here we are.
Let's look around. See if we can dig up any clues.
Okay, so Grace and Edward probably have some sort of connection. Okay, puzzle box of some sort. I gotta find a missing piece by the looks of it. I need to find a key for the trunk. These aren't creepy at all.
Anything important I should look out for? Did he keep a diary?
Like
Not
that?
that I know of, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Did he keep a diary? There's a massive book right beside you.
Every night the dark man stands opaque at the threshold of my room, counting the days until my spirit spills out of my tired shape. Only his pallid mask shelters my remaining sanity. Staring directly into the face of that demonic sultan would surely sunder time itself. Would he have looked the same to my father as he struggled for his life? Does his veiled face haunt my niece quite the same way? I wish so that I could rest my soul in that sunburnt convent of Teruel. Would I find you there, Juan? Or Senora Perosi, back from the beyond? Every night I hide from him, moving from one misshapen memory to another. Scenes conjured out of fantasy and delirium. Places I struggle to even paint. I wish I understood your death, Senora. Is there anything I could do for you but bury you in that bleak necropolis? That triumphant chapel rising above the ledges and the oven vaults shall be your sepulchre, where you may rest, and I shall weep. How did you first come to understand such things, Senora? How did you know that the battered boiler in the basement would lead me to Lafayette Cemetery? Or how the old upstairs clock, with its astronomical motifs, would take me to that hateful mound outside of Claremont Harbor? Those are my memories, my past. Is there perhaps a chance, if ever so small, for me to see Teruel? Oh, I want that more than anything. Please, let my talisman take me there. Let me sit with Juan under his Bodhi tree. Despite having sold me that talisman, Miss Jackson, the voodoo priestess, revealed none of her secrets to me. That's why I had to travel to Tonka. Instead, she cruelly told Baptiste, my caretaker, that he would be betrayed and killed in the most awful way, that the one he loved would pierce his thigh with a sharp spear, and that he would be devoured by his own mother.
Oh.
What a terrible thing to say.
Okay, so the boiler in the basement will lead to the cemetery, so that's probably our next goal, or this Claremont Harbor.
The people of Derceto are becoming dangerous. They do not understand what they are doing. I must do something to stop them. I tried talking to Dr. Gray, but he confuses my worries. He's caught up in treating me. How can he expect evil to be cured with medicine and conversation? The orderlies, the housekeeper, and the patients are all deranged. They will call upon evil to enter this world. All will be lost. Everything. Unless I can find the clerk, Mr. Waite. He seems to be a clear-thinking man. Maybe Beauregard.
Okay, so from the demo, Jeremy was looking for Waits to send a letter, the letter that Emily had, but we did that as grace for him. But we'd never found Waits.
The dock man offered me a prison, and I accepted. I signed that miscarried contract and entered the dock pact. Everyone is safe, except for me.
Nope, nothing to see there, but... Okay, these are probably going to be for a puzzle. Okay, we gotta remember these. He seems to have been a very troubled man. And we can open that chest. Yay, I did it. I'm gonna assume they'll all be that easy. Whoa.
Hey, you know anything about this? Looks like some sort of talisman.
No, I don't. Oh, help me out here, will you?
Would it kill the guy to throw some of this stuff out? I'd be crazy too if I had this much junk lying around.
Oh, wow. That's
Whoa.
striking. I want to save this one.
Reflection on the power of the something. Jeez, that is weird.
All right, come on. I want to go see Dr. Gray. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I'm coming. Miss Hartwood. Emily?
So the hunting begins.
What the hell is going on? Where am I?
There wasn't a town here, was there? We were kind of out in the bayou. Can I just, like, vault down? No. Oh yeah, no, I need a key for that. The brush is preventing me from getting through. The greatest obstacle in all gaming. Random bits of scenery. Hello? We're come on, people. Okay. Not great combat. Okay, that combat was a little chunky. Okay, well, the game could have told me there was a dodge. And there's no melee from what I can see, which is a bit irritating.
Detective Carnby couldn't believe his eyes. The French Quarter scene before him was dark and sinister. The only sign of life he could see from Jeremy's balcony was the light coming from a lone corner store. Jeremy had gone missing. The housekeeper said the staff at Derceto was looking for him, and that Detective Carnby and Emily should come back tomorrow. Hoping to wrap up this case before leaving, Carnby hustled his way inside Jeremy's room, leaving the housekeeper flustered and running for Dr. Gray, the chief.
Okay, you don't need to listen to that. But that's a really cool way of doing the objectives, like that little like
I can't
notes.
go that way.
Okay. But yeah, like those little notes that are recited back to you. That's kind of, I don't think I've seen that before. That's new. That's cool.
What the hell is going on?
I think, was that Jeremy's room up there? Gotta love a game that lets you do that.
Don't let them get inside, Carnby. They're not the good kind.
Are you?
Oh, hello.
Is this your store?
There are no owners here. We both strangers in Jeremy's story.
Jeremy did this. How?
Pact with the dog man. Jeremy warned us, but we didn't think much of it.
I'm Detective Edward Carnby. I was hired by Jeremy's niece to find him.
Oh, yeah? How much she paying you?
$150.
She's sure getting her money's worth tonight. Are you a thinking man, Carnby?
No, not if I can help it.
You know, I think Jeremy's hiding in a way we can't find him. He has this juju necklace that guides him.
The talisman?
That's right. It's some magic charm he got from Miss Jackson down the street.
The voodoo priestess?
You know surprising things, Carnby. Yeah, the Mama Loa. Here, take the key. I locked the gate to save her place from all the ghouls and goblins getting inside. Maybe if you go there, you can find some clues to show you the way.
Thanks. I'll have a look.
Okay, I had a feeling that was Batiste. Preserved reptile.
You want to come along?
Nah, I'm gonna stay here for a while.
Anything I can do for... Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
You didn't see on the keys?
Just tell my sister Lottie I'm alright if you see her.
Alright then. Right then, we're going to the voodoo priestess's house.
Detective Carnby hesitated to buy into the stranger's explanation, but it was all he had. Baptiste, this mountain of a man, seemed to suggest that this other world they had been pulled into was built from Jeremy's scattered memories. It sounded crazy to him, but Carnby couldn't exactly deny the situation he found himself in. Baptiste believed Jeremy was able to move freely between worlds using a talisman he got from Miss Jackson, a voodoo witch doctor that made a good living from alleviating the rich from their ailments and their money. In hope to find Jeremy, or a way back to Derceto, Carnby set out to investigate Miss Jackson's place.
Well, I don't have a map, so... just some trash alcohol. Bye, Baptiste. Good. Baptiste didn't see me take anything from the... Oh. It's a weird way to pick things up. Oh, it's all organic. Screw it, I'm just gonna shoot it. Oh, that is deeply unsettling. Oh, I can't carry stuff around. I've actually got to throw it from where I find it. That's a bit weird. Ooh, okay, now I've got melee.
I can't go that way.
Oh, I can sneak with triangle. Okay, cool. But how do I use the axe? Okay, or one for the axe.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, gotta admit, not loving the combat. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna win me over because it's just the way it is, but... Oh, hell! was just a brick I threw at him. I didn't expect it to, like, explode like a Molotov. Heck. My axe broke. Okay, so the axe can break, which is not good.
I recognize this place. It's Miss Jackson's seance parlor. Let's see if she's got any information on Jeremy's talisman.
Like this one right here?
It's the talisman, like the one in the painting.
Well, that was really easy to find. An old talisman shaped over centuries, the engravings of the numbers looks to be less than 100 years old. But the base could be from antiquity. The polished black sunstone in the middle has a glass finish and occasionally gives the impression of hiding a picture within itself.
I think it's meant for the talisman.
Okay, hang on. Talisman of black sunstone, an ancient navigation tool found inside it, along the bayou Tonki. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. The old grave was uncovered by oil riggers and said to have unleashed a vagabond devil that massacred its finders. 3 numbers need to span a bridge between the scapes of dream and memory, according to Stern. Not where I want to be, but it's a start. 358. Yeah, 358. Okay.
I think it needs numbers, like coordinates. Maybe there's something in Jeremy's notes.
Okay. Okay, that wasn't too hard.
It's showing something. A place? Where is that?
Okay, there's a painting in a room that has a weird blanket. Hello. Oh wait, this is the room with the weird blanket. There's the painting. Okay, well, there's nothing else in the room, so let's go in through the door.
Detective, I was wondering when you were going to show up. Mrs. Thompson told me you were here. I understand you are working for Jeremy Hartwood's niece.
Am I back in the manor?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you're not wrong. We came here for her uncle. I just didn't expect... I didn't expect this. You are Dr. Gray, right?
That's right. You don't happen to have some identification, Detective. I'm not keen on having strangers prying into my business. Oh, Detective Edward Carnby, Decatur Street, New Orleans. Enjoying the Vieux Carré, Detective? Those old French quarters, the voodoo people, the gangsters. I'm sure you live an exciting life.
Well, it's not quite like the stories, Doc. Just trying to make a living.
Aren't we all making a living? Well, welcome to Derceto, Detective. I hope your time here will be useful. Now, what can I do for you?
Why don't you tell me where I can find Jeremy Hartwood?
Why wouldn't that make for a short visit? I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know. A drink, Detective?
Anything brandy.
Oh, you do belong in the French quarters, Detective.
I was going to say, how very French.
Armagnac or cognac?
You know, just give me the cheap stuff. I'm not much of a connoisseur.
Having low standards is not a virtue, Detective. Let me see if I can broaden your perspective.
What can you tell me about Jeremy?
I wouldn't want to go into details about his condition. Doctor-patient confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Sure, but he is crazy, and he's gone missing. Why?
Here, try this.
Ooh, it's good. Got a bite?
It's called a sidecar. The trick is not to be
Ooh,
afraid
a
of the
sidecar
tartness
is
of the
good.
lemon. Then, for goodness sake, don't overdo the triple sec.
Okay, what can you tell me about Jeremy?
Well, let me think. He is an anxious man, constantly worried about events not presenting themselves according to his model of predestination. He complains about things not being carried out in the right order, and that some things simply shouldn't be. Is any of this helpful to you?
Not really. I was hoping for some direction where to look next.
I'm sorry. I have nothing for you then. You should talk to my orderlies. They have been looking for him for a while now. I'm sure they would appreciate your help.
Yeah, I ran into Batiste earlier. Come to think of it, he might have given me a lead.
Oh, excellent. So your investigation is already underway.
I don't trust this guy.
I'm gonna go, but I'm sure we'll meet again.
Looking forward to it. Safe returns.
Chapter 2.
Detective Carnby, how did you... Where did you go?
I was just talking to Dr. Gray.
You disappeared.
No, it's not what you think. Have you found anything strange going on here?
Yes. Everyone is being incredibly evasive and I can't figure out why.
No, I mean something you can't explain. Paranormal even.
Detective, I really need you to get yourself together. I can't do this alone.
Forget it. I'll figure it out.
Do you want to come see Dr. Gray?
No, I want to try something. With this talisman, I think I can follow Jeremy to the place he mentioned in the book. What was the name? Do you remember something Spanish? Taroea. Yeah, that's where I need to go.
Detective, are you gonna be all right?
He's already cracked and gone crazy. What the hell?
Of course. Go talk to Dr. Gray. We'll rendezvous later. This talisman brought me back from the French Quarter in the blink of an eye. If Jeremy can travel so easily, then he could be hiding anywhere, even Taroea. If he can do it, so can I. I just need to figure out how the talisman works.
I'm just readily accepting that the paranormal is actually a thing. Okay, stuff you don't need anymore is just removed. That's handy.
While Detective Carnby was grateful to be back at Derceto, he was eager to test his hypothesis. After having suffered through that sinister world, dressed as the French Quarter, Jeremy's writing could be read much more literally. What if Jeremy used his talisman to actually visit those places he mentioned in the book? Carnby felt certain that this was the answer. He wouldn't find Jeremy hiding inside Derceto. He would be in one of those other worlds. And to follow in his steps, Carnby would have to investigate the old clock and the boiler and find out what part they played.
Okay, so we know where the boiler is. It's down in the basement, but where's the clock? Okay, and it marks which puzzles are solvable and which aren't. So if they're green, I can unlock them or solve them, and if they're not, they're not. Okay. So can I open this door now? I can.
Dr. Elmore Lee Gray is Derceto's chief doctor. Accounting and all administrative work is handled by me, Paul Waits. Magdalena Thompson, or Mags, is responsible for the household. Jean-Baptiste and Charlotte Tabois are responsible for keeping the guests' medical regimens in check. Finally, Jack Chance is our gardener, who can occasionally be seen in the conservatory, but is for the most part busy outside. There are currently 6 guests at Derceto. Malcolm McCarthy and Ruth Tallant reside on the first floor. Jeremy Hartwood, Elisabetta Perosi, Grace Saunders, and of course, Cassandra Beauregard live on the second floor.
Okay, I can get into room 6 now. Okay, more collectibles. Just gonna read the patient files.
Cassandra Beauregard, the beloved author. Very exciting, isn't it? What do you want to put down for reason for admission?
What her agent told us. Cassandra suffers from writer's block and needs to finish her moving picture script before the end of June. Mr. Chardot suggests Cassandra's heavy use of barbiturates is holding her back and risks ruining her career.
And how should we summarize her personal history?
Let's keep it short. Cassandra Beauregard is a beloved crime author who managed to pull herself out of poverty and into stardom. 5 years ago, she tried killing herself by jumping off a balcony. The incident left her a cripple and now relies heavily on her wheelchair.
And for diagnostic impressions?
Cassandra suffers chronic back pain following her suicide attempt. She self-administers morphine to keep herself ambulant, but has become addicted, and the desired effect is now lost. The drug abuse clouds her mind, and she is unable to focus on real life. To save herself from this insight, she instead makes up stories to fill out the gaps in her own thought process, resembling the Korsakoff syndrome.
Oh, bravo, Doctor. How will you treat her?
First of all, she needs to be weaned from her drug addiction, and hopefully it will resolve her compulsive lying. Then look into permanently numbing her pain in her back through surgery. Finally, deal with her suicidal thoughts.
Fantastic. With such a short time before June, I really hope she gets better soon.
We will do what we can.
Grace Saunders, 11 years old. Reason for admission?
The mother insists on strict supervision by a proper gentleman to avoid further perversion of Grace's adolescence.
Jesus.
Personal history?
Grace's family possesses modest wealth and status. Her childhood seems ordinary, spending most of her time with private teachers and family friends. Grace's father recently passed away, leaving her mother the sole caregiver.
And diagnostic impressions?
Grace has trouble dealing with her father's death. She is willingly suppressing her feelings on the matter and isn't properly acknowledging the trauma she suffered.
Any planned treatment?
Grace needs nothing out of the ordinary. She simply needs parental guidance. Eventually, we can work on her feelings toward her father.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll finish the paperwork and get her installed. Malcolm McCarthy, 54 years of age. Reason for admission?
McCarthy admitted himself to Derceto, stating simply that he needs some damn rest.
And personal history.
McCarthy claims he used to work as a lawyer in Baton Rouge, but says he can't go into details because of some legal dispute. His background remains largely a mystery, except for the occasional clue that he drops in conversation.
Huh. And diagnostic impressions.
McCarthy is an anxious man and an alcoholic. He often tells half-truths due to some deep-seated inability to trust other people.
And how will you treat that?
McCarthy will take some time to open up. Spending time with Jack's dog or the child should be good for him. Their harmless nature will help build his sense of trust.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, we'll leave a strange man whose cage bit is passed alone with a child. Can I see your credentials, Doc, if you don't mind? Just, where'd you study? Did you even graduate? That kind of thing. Do you still have your license?
Elisabetta Perosi, 33 years old? What should I put down as reason for admission?
Well, Perosi broke into Derceto and was found wandering the grand parlor. She was confused and suffered partial amnesia. She insisted she belonged here and offered to pay for her stay.
Right. What do you make of her story?
Perosi claims to have been a member of the Astarte artist colony some 20 years ago, a claim that seems contrafactual due to her young age. She looks to be and even thinks she is 33 years of age. That would make her a child at the time. It seems fair to say that Perosi's story is untrue, deliberately so or not.
Diagnostic impressions? Do you have anything?
Perosi's story is peculiar, because she retracted her story about the artist colony. She no longer claims to be the same person as Elisabetta Perosi. However, my staff's research has confirmed there was a Perosi at that time who was in her early 30s.
I suppose this case will take some time to investigate. How will you go about it?
I wanted to contact the real Perosi, but it seems the whole colony disappeared one night. September 29th, 1915, during a hurricane. I will have to take it slow and figure out what this spell of impersonation could have been.
Ruth Talon, 29 years of age. Reason for admission?
Ruth's father wishes that his daughter be removed from New Orleans nightlife for the foreseeable future. He fears that her overly free spirit is tarnishing the family's reputation.
Sounds simple enough. Personal history?
Ruth comes from considerable wealth. Her family owns several hotels and restaurants. Unlike the rest of the family, her sense of adventure has taken her around the world, including France during the Great War as a photojournalist.
Oh, that's cool.
The last decade, she has provoked many rumors of being a debauched flapper, bordering on nymphomania.
And diagnostic impressions?
Despite her father's frivolous reasons for her to be admitted, Ruth does seem to provide an interesting case. She is refreshingly open and doesn't shy away from talking about her life during the war or her continuous celebration after returning to the States. She is admittedly a sexual deviant and feels no remorse.
Yeah, good for her.
And her treatment plan?
Simply staying at Derceto should do wonders for Ruth. If not, at least for her family's reputation.
Because that's what's important.
Ruth doesn't need to change, but with therapy I might be able to share with her some sympathy towards her family. I doubt she will settle down and become as dull as the rest of them, but at least she might try to be more discreet in the future.
Looks like all the patients are accounted for, except for Jeremy.
Oh yeah, why wasn't his info in the file?
There's no way I can get into this thing. Better leave it alone.
Saw your notice in the boiler room. You should know Mr. Chance won't be coming back. I got no business being in there myself, but you can take a valve from the wine cellar if you want to try to stop the steam pouring out. Be careful.
Okay, I need to find the wine cellar.
I need the key. I need the key.
Paul, you're right about the plates on the boiler and the clock. They have been sabotaged, and I think I know who did it. They have something to do with Jeremy's episodes and how he seems to disappear at night. Right now, it's important that you keep an eye out for any of the pieces. I want to find out if I can repair the plates. Let me know if you find any of them. Lottie.
Tell Lottie to take a look at the well in the kitchen garden.
Okay, yeah, that's what we saw earlier on. So we know at least one plate is in the well in the kitchen garden. We just have to find out how to get into it. Okay, well, we have a key for room 6, so maybe we should start with that.
I need the key.
Okay, well, room 6 isn't down that way anyway.
Oh.
That's it, just, not what the actual F is wrong with this place.
Stained. Looks like some kind of rot.
Yeah, remember the letter or the diary? Like, people talking about talking to the rot?
This must be the clock that Jeremy wrote about in the commonplace book. Huh. Looks like the plate that held the talisman in the seance room. But it's broken and missing some pieces.
Okay, time to find some missing pieces.
Yeah, sorry, Detective. Didn't mean to obstruct justice or anything.
That's fine.
You know, I'm kind of busy with my own case of a missing person. I was wondering if you seen Grace, girl about yay high?
I can't say that
She was a little shorter than that, mate.
Why are you asking?
Well, I'm looking for her.
Is she in trouble?
Why is a weird drunk looking for her?
She's just hiding somewhere. We can't have a rascal like that running around unchecked at a time like this, you understand?
Well, I haven't seen her.
Well, let me know if you find her. I'll be around. I'll keep an eye out for your man, Jeremy. You scratch my back, Detective, and I'll scratch yours.
Thanks, mate. Whose room is this? Oh, this is Baptiste's room. Okay, no real interest here. What was the objective action that came up?
McCarthy reminded Detective Carnby of an old barfly he used to know. He detested him. There was no getting around it. McCarthy was going to have a hard time getting on his good side.
Okay, this is Perosi's room.
How eccentric.
Whoa, that's slightly undersaying it. This is Elizabeth Perosi, the woman who was part of maybe a commune that disappeared.
I did it. I crossed the thresholds to my intended destination without a focusing device. My talisman now knows these roads, and I have no need for the plates. I can find my way to Lafayette as easy as I find my own room. I visited the grave of my father and seen the oven waiting for me. Thank you for opening these doors. I now must summon my courage and go back to that hateful mound outside the oil rig. I hope you'll be feeling better when I return. Jeremy.
What are these symbols? Looks like alchemy or star constellations.
Ah, classic Resi puzzle. Well, that is really weird. I can't tell if that's intentional or if it's just a glitch.
Will I need to remember how to get them out again? They are locked up for good reason. I am sure she is still able to whisper the answer in the ears of the wrong people. But not for long. I will see her burned soon enough. That black goat will be sacrificed to put an end to it all. Then it will all be over. No more Derceto, and sadly, no Astarte. Those good pirates of Pontchartrain. May you still sail the lake, until you find the shores of Hali.
Hey, but look at that. So, I assume this is for the locker. So, Aquarius to start. Then Scorpio. Followed by Sagittarius. Okay. Well, let's see if that works.
Astarte Artist Colony. I remember hearing about their disappearance. Must have been 15 years or more now.
And there she is at the bottom, Elizabeth Persosi. That's how she looks. Despite it being quite a while ago.
These paintings got some grim-looking rot on them.
Did I do it?
The simple astrology cipher was a favorite among the artists who lived in the house 20 years ago. They easily turned into numbers when needed, but all...
Yeah, I think I did. I don't know what that did, but I think I did it. Right, well, let's try this. Okay, those aren't the right symbols that I had.
Will I need to remember?
Maybe I meant to use this for something? No, I don't think so.
Will I need to?
Yeah, they're not the symbols from the book, so... Okay, so I've noticed that there's 3 of them here. So 3 padlocks, and there's 3 names, so that must be it. So William, I'm gonna write these down. William, Franklin, and who's that? Nora. Okay, now their names are up here, so... William is 2. Frank is... Oh, 9. And Nora is 4? So then maybe what I'm... So it's not 111, 11011, they're just kind of placeholders, kind of like the key to it. So I'm just going to write these symbols down. Okay, let's try these three instead. Hey, nice.
Got it.
And it's one of the broken plates. Hey, let's get out of here before somebody turns up and sees me snooping in a woman's room.
Huh?
Oh no. Oh, they look disgusting. Go! No, I'm behind my sister. No, okay. Yeah, run. It's all back to normal.
Oh, what happened? Everything's normal again? Right.
Detective Carnby had a hard time understanding what had happened. It did feel similar to when he was pulled into the French Quarter, but with less power and purpose. Did he cause this, or was it something else?
Oh, that was horrible. Okay, we need one more. I'm assuming that's the one down in the kitchen.
I need the key.
Right, so we can also investigate the library. Yeah, it's in the kitchen garden, but we don't have what we need to solve it yet. Why are you telling me to sprint now? Okay, I can't just jump off. Oh, this is a nice little library.
Lost Plantations of Louisiana, Thierry Briclot, 1917. Derceto was a small plantation on the eastern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The land was considered difficult for industry and was sold for only $30 to Elijah Pickford in 1818. Pickford employed hundreds of workers from nearby New Orleans to clear the woods and build a small plantation mansion facing the lake with a striking Greek Revival temple facade. Derceto kept a modest production of barrique tobacco and indigo that persisted up till the Civil War. During the antebellum era, Derceto was the source of many rumors concerning voodoo and witchcraft. People who traveled the lake reported seeing people dance at night in front of bonfires, bleating and wailing. On June 17, 1862, Captain J.W. Norton of the Union Army recounts leading a raiding party from ships anchored in Lake Pontchartrain in order to seize control of Derceto and free the slaves working there. The captain was surprised to find the workers fighting back with unprecedented zeal. Norton's account describes these men and women as enraged with fanaticism. Pickford reportedly tried to placate the raiders, but was shot in the confusion. Captain Norton left the mansion burning and retreated to his ships with his men. Derceto was left in ruins for several decades. The ownership of the land was long disputed and returned to the Ledoux family in 1901. Several police reports were filed during the following years as the Ledoux tried to get rid of a camp of squatters on their land. The police made several visits to remove the trespassers, but the people kept returning. On November 1st, 1907, Inspector Legras of the police charged a deadly attack in order to save several children kidnapped by the squatters. Many were killed, and even more were jailed. The following year, Ledoux rebuilt Derceto, incorporating the surviving stone foundation and adding a magnificent wrought iron conservatory. The farmland had been reclaimed by the surrounding woods, so it was no longer profitable to use as a plantation. Instead, the house was turned into an artist's colony. The Astarte Artist Colony was a successful group of artists, including figures such as painter Heinrich Cassel and poet Nora Keith. The group was also known for their beloved Mardi Gras crew called the Pirates of Pontchartrain. On September 29, 1915, a tropical hurricane tore through Louisiana, causing Lake Pontchartrain to flood New Orleans. Due to the remote location of Derceto, it took almost 2 weeks for outsiders to learn that the artist's colony was abandoned. The 12 residing artists had all vanished without a trace. The empty mansion of Derceto still stands on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain, with much of its temple facade intact. The Ledoux family currently has no intention of repairing the house.
Right, so Derceto has a pretty interesting and messed up history. Cults to Civil War raids and weird artist colonies that we've already heard about. So it's, yeah, the place has got a history to say the least. Okay, where are we? We're in the small parlor.
It's wedged shut.
You can't just pull that out. Oh! Whoa, that actually got me. Okay, so the key must be here somewhere. Jeez, that actually genuinely gave me a fright. Okay, let's cut our way out. Ah, weird ass slime. And it's back to normal.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, cool, we're here in the conservatory. Hello. Oh, that's just strange. Oh, can I fill it up with water and the bucket will float to the top?
Got it. Okay.
Okay, let's see, can I prop this ladder? Ah, now I've got a way up there. Cool. and see where the water is. Those weird eyes are still there looking at me in that bucket. I'd shoot you if I didn't want to lose ammo. I'm getting stuck on chairs. Hey, there we go. Piece number 2. Oh, actually, no. We can take the ladder. And we'll go and pop that last piece back in the clock. And then I think we'll wrap things up for today. You know, despite the clunky combat, I'm actually enjoying this. Been a couple of nice scares. Story is interesting enough that it's like I am interested to see where it goes. Characters seem cool enough. Yeah, combat could be a little bit better, but honestly, I try never to judge a game based on its combat and gameplay. I always try and look for other stuff. This is where we'll end it. We will come back here. We'll start off next by popping the last piece into the clock, finishing this puzzle, and probably getting sucked back into the weird haunted French Quarter to fight more weird creatures made of flesh and vegetation, because, you know, proper eldritch horror. If you guys are enjoying this, do give it a like and a comment. It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter and on Medium, and of course you should subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on all content going forward. And I shall see you all next time.